Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2016 Kia Sorento, and it's here because of we're doing an inspection, and it's got a history of a bunch of warning lights coming on. ABS, traction control, check engine light. Backup camera doesn't work either. They said that was glitching out at first, and now it's not working at all. Now there's no abnormal warning lights on right now, but we're going to scan it and see if there's anything in history. This is a new vehicle. So as I said, this is a new vehicle record. 2016 Kia. I'm going to grab the mileage. Okay, it's just got 143,000 kilometers on it, about 144. Let's do a network code scan. Got to do this key on engine off. Okay, so I have the key on engine not running now. Let's see how long this network scan takes. No codes in the engine, transmission, CAN bus off. Yeah, that would do it. CAN timeout steering angle, CAN timeout yaw rate. Yeah, that's in the ABS. Airbag warning light circuit failure. Blind spot detection, CAN signal error gateway, CAN timeout cluster, ABS, CAN bus off, lateral G sensor, longitudinal G sensor, yaw rate sensor signal error. Mostly network codes. Interesting that they're not U codes. CAN bus, CAN bus, CAN bus. Lost communication with steering angle sensor module. Bumper antenna failure. Are we done yet? Not quite. Now we're done. So what to do here? Lost communication with steering angles, bumper antenna. Well, obviously it's a network problem at some point, but where to even start? I think checking for TSBs and potential case histories is the best starting point. And I've got a record of all these codes, so I'm going to do a network code clear while I have the key on engine off. I didn't ask them how long it's been since it acted up. Pick up when we get to the end of this network clear. So it cleared codes from 20 controllers. Or say OK. And like I said, I'm going to do some research to see if there's anything common to cause this issue. Look in Identifix for case histories. Copy the VIN. Load Identifix. See if there's anything common to cause network problems on these vehicles. Paste the VIN number. Is it an SX or an SX Limited? I gotta check. So here's one case on Identifix. I typed in the keyword search for CAN. Customers said that warning messages and lights come on in the dash at times. There's a electronic stability control CAN bus off code C161608, an electronic stability control. Let's read this. Blind spot detection error codes, blind spot detection lateral G forces. Can't get it up, but did of it. And two motor driven power steering connectors on the rack are broken and muddy. Move those muddy connectors on the rack around with the engine running and see if it acts up. If it does act up, clean and repair the connectors. Motor driven power steering unit connector. Really? Well, we got to put it up in the air and have a look. So there's the power steering assist motor and module on the rack, and there's the connectors I think they're talking about. Now one of those connectors has likely got the CAN bus circuit running through it. Probably one of the smaller connectors, but it's hard to say because usually, well, maybe not. I don't see anything visually wrong with the connectors. Yeah, the top one is definitely the motor connector because it's got really heavy wires to it. So the two bottom ones could be in question, which is a little easier to get to. I might take that connector off and just look in it, make sure there's no compromise. I moved this heat shield to see if it was rubbing on the wires here, and it looks okay. I need to ask the customer if the problem happened in the rain or the slush or whatever. I'm going to look at the schematic and see which one of those connectors contains the CAN bus wires. So here's the diagram, or a partial diagram, of the power steering assist system. It shows the CAN H and CAN L on pin 7 and 8. Pin 1 and 2 is battery power and ground. 1 and 2. So it's in the 8-pin connector. 7 and 8. Not very many wires in there. Battery positive. No, there's only 3 wires in that. According to this, there's only the ignition wire, CAN H, and CAN L. So let's see if there's a way to tell which one of those connectors it is. So there's a white secondary lock you need to pry out of the connector, and then push this release tab and pull on the connector. So there's 8 potential terminals in this thing, but there's only 3 in the top left and 1 in this one in the bottom, second one from the right on the bottom. I think it's hard to tell, but those are definitely terminals in there, those top 3. I don't see any corrosion in here. I'm going to blow the connector out, put some Stabilitin 22A on the CAN bus wires. I was looking for a spot where the wires might be chafed or something, but we're chasing a ghost here, so I think at this point, other than this, we're going to let it go for now until such time as it happens again. See if we can. I'm going to check for recalls and talk to a dealership tech as well. So after blowing the connector out, I put the Stabilitin 22A on the actual terminals and dielectric grease around the circumference of the seal to help keep the moisture out. So after doing the network code clear, I did a reread, and the only code that's come back is this B16AB00, bumper antenna failure, in the smart key unit. I'm not sure what that code means. There's no codes related to the camera. I see there's a license plate light out, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. So I'm gonna, now that I've cleared all the network codes, I'm gonna see if the camera is working. So given the fact that the camera is in the lift gate, that means the wires have to flex wherever they attach to the body, and there could be a compromised wire. They said it was glitching, in other words, intermittent at first. Notice when I put it in reverse, the nav radio switches to a backup camera view, but no camera. I wonder if I can leave it in reverse. Leave it in reverse. And open that lift gate. Where's the key? Oh, it has an aftermarket car starter in it. Hold the button. Maybe because I got it in park in reverse, it won't let the lift gate open. Okay, let's turn the key off. Let's try this. It's smarter than me. Now let's turn the key back on. Put it in reverse. No camera. Let's leave it in reverse now with the key on and try and move some wires. So obviously the wires go through this boot here. Oh, it's sensing me with the backup. The backup sensors are sensing me. So that's working. Well, we're going to pull this boot off and have a quick look in here. So there's a coaxial type cable in here, this black one. I think that's for the camera. Now, because it's a coax cable, it could be compromised internally. And there's probably a power wire to that camera as well. But I don't see anything obviously broken in here. And of course, manipulating these wires hasn't made the camera come back on. So I'm going to look at case histories. Well, there doesn't appear to be any cases with the word backup, so let's try camera. Enhanced dealer feedback, digital camera requirements to support. Oh, that's cam technology highlights, wheel alignment procedure recommendations. So there is nothing in case histories on Identifix anyways related to the backup camera not working, and I'm not sure if it's common for them to fail like a Honda. Probably is. They're probably made by the same company. I'm going to have a quick look at the wiring diagram. Well, there's a picture of the backup camera. It shows a connector, but interestingly it's CAN bus. Interesting. 2 core shielded twisted pair, so that's the coax cable. There's a power wire. That's the display, that's the camera assembly. And then there's CAN H and CAN L to the camera. So there's a 6 wire and 8 terminal plug with 7 terminals used in it. Nice if they gave me the wire colors. Well, I wonder if this CAN problem that we're seeing with the other could be related. It's potentially related. I'm not sure if that's the same CAN bus or not. CAN. So reviewing the first network code scan, I see in the ABS system it had CAN bus off code, and it had CAN bus off CAN in the blind spot detection. CAN bus off. Now I would think that if that problem was present now, it should be resetting a fault code for the CAN bus. If the camera doesn't work right now, if there was a problem with the network, it should be a current fault code. I'm going to rescan it again. So we'll try another network code scan to see if any of the network's codes came back, because if the problem causing the camera not to work is CAN related, the codes, that CAN code should have come back. There's no codes in the ABS, no codes in the airbag. Automatic headlamp leveling system, body control module, cluster module, door module, blind spot detection module, no codes. So I think we've got just a failed camera. There is a power wire to it though. Interesting that that schematic didn't have the colors of the wires. Camera in power input, pin 1. That's inside the lift gate. Well, I think we've wasted enough time here. The only code that's come back is this bumper antenna code, and that's the end of the code scan. So I'm going to talk it over with the customer, but I think that's what we're going to leave it at. He's selling the vehicle, so he's just going to disclose the fact that the backup camera doesn't work, I imagine.